Dedication. I want to thank you for the view.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Alright. So hang in there right before we get to lunch. We want to just go ahead and show you how it's actually implemented when you're in a home. So we talked about in-home yesterday and all of those things. First off, I'm super proud and honored to be on stage with this handsome man.
Stop it.
I have to tell a quick story though before we get started. So a couple of years ago, before Dan got into actually sitting with families, like I do, we were sitting and we were watching a show called Breaking Bad. Anyone ever seen that? Right? So we're watching it and I would get so frustrated because I would say to Dan, listen, if Walter White would have just bought life insurance and owned it, there would have been no Heisenberg and nobody's cooking meth, right? And he would be like, oh, you're ridiculous. He did it because he loves his family. And I'm like, no, if he'd have met me, he would have had life insurance and he would not have been cooking meth, right? And then at this point, my question, my love, is after paying $258,000 worth of life insurance on your own pen last year, do you think Walter White needed life insurance?
Absolutely, and I would sell the biggest policy he's ever seen.
Exactly. All right.
First of all, thanks for having me on. Thanks Matt Smith, John Gavin, and Zach Egan for putting together a great convention. I hope you're all getting as much out of it as you can. Yesterday you heard a lot of speakers tell you how. Tiffany, for example, spoke about how to structure your in-home. Brad Allen spoke about how to posture in-home. Now we're just going to jump right in it and show you how top producers do their in-home. So take a bunch of notes, learn from what we do. My in-home presentation is a lot of Tiffany. She taught me how to do it. Let me say one thing. There's no person.
Oh, we're already emotional. Oh no.
There's no person I'd rather be on stage with right now. She has taught me everything. Thank you for everything. I appreciate you. Let's get to it. I also want to thank the stage back crew, carrying tables and chairs. Jennifer, thank you so much back there. We couldn't do this without you. So, here we go. You gotta be socially distant in the home.
No masks though. Right now.
And Tiffany's gonna play the part of Mary. I'm gonna play the part of Dan. So, Mary, thanks for letting me come into your house. I see you appreciate gambling.
I do, actually.
My wife tells me all the time that I probably shouldn't go in the casino. She says I have a gambling problem. I say I have a gambling winning problem, but she doesn't see it that way. So, I love your artwork.
Thanks. Hey, Dan, do you want some water or something?
Oh yes, that would be perfect. Thank you so much.
Always take their
Yeah,
water.
little hint here. If they're giving you things, they like you already. Okay? You take everything. All right, I'll try not to coach while I train. So Tiffany, again, thank you for letting me come into your house. I'm sorry, Mary. Thank you, Mary, for letting me come into your home. I'm going to be the guy that's going to come out today. I'm going to make sure you get your life insurance put in place. Okay? I start all these meetings out the same. I just want to ask you a simple question. First of all, here's the form you sent into our office. Do you remember filling that form out?
Yeah, that's my writing.
Okay, what I like to ask folks when I first sit down with them, I ask everyone this same question because I want to know how I can best serve you. Okay? Why did you fill the form out?
Well, it's something I probably was thinking about for a while, and I just really wanted to, know what it was all about.
Okay. What do you want to know? What's all about?
Well, we all die, right? So I just wanted to know kind of what the program was and, how it could benefit me.
Okay. Do you think this program benefits you?
Well, I'm not sure.
So it does stay on their state-regulated benefits or final expenses, which will pay up to 100% of your final expenses up to $35,000. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means that my family's not going to have to pass around a can at church.
Okay. So you want to eliminate the burden on your family?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Scale of 1 to 10, how important is that burden is eliminated for
Well, my daughter is single. She's a single mom, so it's, I'd say a 9 at least. But Dan, just so you know, I'm not doing anything today. I just want to get the information.
All right, see you later. Well, that's perfect. Thank you for bringing that up, because I don't know if you're going to do anything today either. Okay, we're going to go through the process. We're going to find out what you're qualified for. I love to help people. If I can help you, I'm going to. What's your daughter's name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. I want to make sure that Jennifer doesn't have to worry about everything when you pass away. Have you had a sister or a mom or anyone pass away recently?
Actually, we lost, or I lost my husband a few years ago. It was really difficult.
Did that go seamless? Was there any hiccups?
No.
Was there anything planned?
No, it was one of those things where my husband just didn't like to talk about death at all, so it came as a very difficult time for us. There was a lot of adjustment and trying to find, money from places that we just didn't have it.
Okay, so allow me to change your rating you did. Judging on what you just told me and experiences that you've been through, I'm going to say that this is a 10 out of 10. Okay?
That's fair.
Your daughter is single. Sorry, I'm such an emotional mess. She's a single mom, so I can't see that she is going to be able to take care of things the way they should be done. You as a grown-up, you as an adult, you need to plan those out for her and take care of your business before you pass. Okay? I promise you, I have 3 daughters at home. They're all going to be taken care of when I pass. Okay? And just so you guys know that this isn't fake, this happens in every house. This conversation in the first 5 minutes, I can tell how much I'm going to help them and if I'm even going to help them. Okay? So thank you for sharing that with me. Now here's what I do, Mary. We're a brokerage firm. We're called Family First Life. Being a brokerage firm, we're typically able to help our clients with the most amount of coverage for the cheapest. Okay?
That's good. That's what I like.
Okay. The reason why is because we're affiliated with about 15 different A-rated carriers. Here's some of them. I'm sure you recognize some of the carriers on that list.
Yeah, those are names I've seen on like TV and that kind of stuff before.
So let's say you were to call those carriers over the phone. What they're going to give you, for the most part, is what's called a guaranteed issue product. Basically, everyone qualifies. Okay? Because everyone qualifies, are typically more expensive. If you sit down with a person like myself, I'm known as a licensed state field underwriter. I'm going to get to know you a little bit, find out about your health, find out about your finances. Then I'm going to work together as a team with you and try to find which of those carriers is the best fit for you. Okay? Now keep in mind, Mary, the best fit doesn't always necessarily mean the cheapest. Okay?
I like cheap though.
Got it. For the most part, 95% of the people I sit with, I try to get them the best deal. Okay? So 2 goals when I meet with folks. First one is to make sure they understand how life insurance works. Okay? Because there's a lot of different types of life insurance out there. Everyone knows they need it, but they have no idea what they need, where to get it, or who to even talk to. Okay, so what I like to do for folks, first off, is educate them or inform them on what's out there. Okay? So life insurance is marketed in so many different ways. You may have heard of things like mortgage protection, asset protection, income replacement, final expense and burial plans, cremation plans, so on and so forth. There's basically 3 types of life insurance. Okay? First one is what's called term. The term does last a term. Okay, then it expires. Pretty simple. If you die within your term limit, the benefit's paid out. Most term products will go up in price every 5 years. Okay? So for the most part, what we do with our state regulated programs, they're normally all rate locked. They all are rate locked. They never go up in price. In addition to being just a standard death benefit if you die, if you were to get sick during your term limit, they have something that's called living benefits. Okay? The living benefits are going to take care of you if you become ill. Okay? So not just a death benefit, there may also be a living benefit attached to it. Okay? For the most part, people get term life insurance in place if they're protecting a large asset or if they're protecting a mortgage. Okay? And mostly, it's extremely difficult in some cases to qualify. You got to be healthy. Okay? For the most part, I help my younger clients out with term products. Okay? Any questions on how term works?
No, I don't carry a mortgage, so I guess that's not for me.
Okay. The other type of life insurance out there is what's called accidental death. Very simple to understand. You gotta die in an accident. If you don't, it doesn't pay. Okay. The third main type of life insurance out there is what's called the final expense life insurance, or whole life. Okay. Whole life is marketed as final expense, burial, cremation, things like that, but it's basically whole life insurance. What whole life does is it lasts your whole life. Never expires. What?
That makes sense.
Great. Never expires, never goes up in price. It will pay when you pass. Most of the stuff that we help folks out with have accidental built right into it. Accidental built right into it. So if you were to pass in an accident, let's say you have an Americo benefit, it's one of the carriers on the list. By the way, Americo is the largest independently owned life insurance company in North America. Okay? They go strictly by referrals and word of mouth. They don't advertise like a lot of the carriers I'm going to throw up on it. Okay? If I can help you with someone, more than likely it's going to be them. Okay? So whole life, they have the accidental death built right into it. So let's say you had a $30,000 benefit with Americo, you pass away, your beneficiary is going to double to 60 in case of an accident. Okay? Now, up to 3 types of life insurance that I explained to you, which one do you think is going to be the best fit for you?
Well, I just want to make sure, like I said, my daughter it was so terrible when my husband passed, and I just don't want her to have to ask for money. So the one that is always going to be there, whichever one you said that was.
I agree. I think whole life makes the most sense for you. So here's the statistic that I read somewhere once. 1 in 7 life insurance policies don't pay when people pass. Okay?
See, that seems like a ripoff, Dan.
It's not. It's not because people got ripped off or scammed. They just bought the wrong type of life insurance. A lot of folks will end up getting something that they saw on television, through the mail, on the internet. Please, whatever you do, whether I help you or not today, do not do that. Okay, I sit with about 15 people per day. Half of them tell me, oh yeah, I got it taken care of. I'm like, please let me stop by, have your policy out, let me take a look at it. For the most part, half of the people that have it taken care of, they have a policy that it's not what they thought it was. Okay? So today I'm going to help you get something put in force that's going to protect you, make sure your family is protected, and your daughter, Jen, is taken care of when you pass away. Okay? Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Second goal when I meet with folks is budget. Never going to recommend anything to anyone that's going to take food off their table. Frankly, if I did that, I would suck at what I do. Okay? I think I'm pretty darn good at it. All right? A little bit more about myself. My wife and I, we own this agency together. Her name is Tiffany. She is an absolute beast in the insurance industry. Okay, she has taught me everything that I know. She is a lot better at this than I am. She's smarter than me, prettier than me, smells better than me. She is my sugar mama. Okay? Now, I say that in every house, by the way, and you guys can take that story and make it your own. Okay? So the reason how this benefits you or all of my clients, Mary, is I'm not under any pressure to sell you anything to put food on my table. Because I have a wife at home that makes enough money for just about everyone I know. She does really, really well. Okay, so I'm not under any pressure to sell you anything. I really enjoy helping people, and I want to help you. Okay. I worked construction for 18 years. I was out on Interstate 5 in Washington State. I would stand out there and I would look at her deposits and I would think, man, why am I standing out here on the freeway? Okay? Because of her, I was able to resign at 40. I've been doing this helping people. Matter of fact, most of the people that I help, I end up becoming friends with. So I'm here to help you, okay? And I'm going to help you get something put in place so Jen doesn't have to worry about anything. Sound fair?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the way this process works is we're going to talk about your health for about 5 minutes. We're going to talk about your finances for about 5 minutes, okay? And then once we find a plan that works, that's going to fit you best, we'll work together as a team to find the option that's best for you. We're going to submit a completed application today to see what we can get you approved for first. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, submitting a completed application is going to include some personal items I'm going to need from you. I'm going to ask you for your driver's license number, social security number, and a checking account information. Is that fair?
Well, I mean, we can get there, but I'm not sure that I'm doing anything today.
And like I said, I'm not sure that I can even help you with anything today, but the process is this. We're going to fill out a completed application today. We're going to find out whether you're approved, then we'll go from there. So, fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Makes sense.
So let's start with where we live here. First of all, 3 objectives when I talk with folks. First one is affordability, okay? I want to find something that you can afford to pay for today, tomorrow, and the next day, so it doesn't do me any good or you any good to have something put in place that you're going to have to cancel down the road, okay? Second objective is comfortability. I want you to stop me. I want you to ask me questions. I want you to be comfortable. The last thing I want is for when I leave here, for you to look around the room and go, who the heck was that and what the hell just happened? Okay? If anything, you're going to be educated on how life insurance works and what you're going to qualify for. I will tell you this, your premiums in life insurance, I like to compare it to your credit score when purchasing a home. Okay? The younger you are, your credit score when purchasing a home, the lower your credit score, the more you can borrow, the less your payment's going to be. Okay? Life insurance, your credit score is your age and your health. Okay? The younger you are in life, the more healthy you are, the more insurance you can get, the less expenses it's going to be. So my goal is to help you get that put in place today. Okay? The main objective, though, for coming out and seeing you today is to get you qualified. How we're going to do that is we're going to submit a completed application. We're going to find out if you qualify, and we're going to go from there. I will tell you this, Mary, that if you're qualified, the first premium will come out in 24 to 48 hours. Okay?
Third time he has told me he's going to do an application. Okay, just
So
pointing that out.
believe in the process, you preach the process, and they're going to go through the process. All right, Tiffany, Mary, let's just go through, you rent here?
I do.
Okay, do you own any homes or any property or anything like that?
No.
Great. How much do you pay for rent monthly?
I pay $800.
800. Okay. So Mary is your full name. Middle initial?
J.
Last name?
Blige.
Why she always gotta steal my show? Mary J. Blige. It's nice to meet you. What's your date of birth?
I'm 63.
Okay, 63 years old. Make sure you do ask them what their date of birth is and help them figure out how old they are, because a lot of your clients will find out that they're a year younger. You know, it's also a good indicator that if they don't know their birthday, maybe you should start asking some more deep questions. Okay, you don't want to get yourself in trouble. Mary, are you retired?
Yes.
Great. Where did you retire from?
The grocery store.
Grocery store. Now, let's talk about income. What are you bringing in your total household monthly income?
My total income or like Social Security?
Total household.
I get $1,600 from Social Security.
Okay. And is any of your income related to any sort of pension or retirement plan?
Well, that's my Social Security. I do have a pension.
And how much do you have any distributions from that yet set up, or?
Yeah, I get it monthly. So one of them I have is 200.
200. Okay, thank you. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that later. I do specialize in mortgage protection insurance, final expense, and retirement income planning. I specialize in safe retirement solutions. So if there's a better place for your money to be, where you won't lose money when the stock market goes down, I'm going to help you with that as well.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about your health now, Mary. Are you a smoker?
I'm trying to quit, but yeah.
Good, so you do have a plan to quit.
Yes.
Great. I'm already trending to that company I told you about. America is going to probably be your best option because they have what's called a quitting smoking incentive. Basically, the program's going to give you options down the road. Once your policy is put in force today, you're going to have some options down the road to keep the policy how it is if you've quit smoking. If you have not quit smoking in 3 years, you're going to have a couple options you can go. We can always keep the policy. Okay.
That's good.
So let's talk about health now. Any heart attacks, cancers, or strokes?
I had a heart attack, I think it was about 3 years ago,
Good.
but I'm totally healthy.
So completely healthy. Were you diagnosed with any congestive heart failure or anything like that?
Nope.
Hardware installed, defibrillators,
Nope.
makers? Good.
Just some drugs, meds.
Got it. Now let's see, any cancers or strokes?
Nope.
Okay. Any diabetes?
I do have diabetes.
Okay. Any complications, neuropathy, anything like that?
Nope.
Your fingers and toes?
Yep.
Good. And how are you medicated for the diabetes?
I just take one prescription once a day.
Okay. Let's talk about asthma, COPD, anything like that?
Nope.
Okay, great. Any anxiety or depression medications?
Nope.
Any pain medication prescriptions?
No.
Yeah, I will tell you this, Mary. I sit with a lot of 63-year-old women, and very few of them have as little medications as you do. Normally, when I ask for the medications, it's a Rubbermaid tote or a list that looks like Santa's naughty list.
Right.
Okay? So good for you. Let's talk now a little bit when you do pass away, Mary. Who's picking up all the pieces? Is your daughter?
Yeah, my daughter Jen.
It was Jen. What's Jen's middle initial?
R.
And her last name?
Lopez.
Lopez. I'm sorry. Okay, so basically, here's what we're going to do today. Mary, we're going to put a benefit put in place. We're going to get a benefit put in place for you that's going to make sure that Jen doesn't have to worry about anything. Okay? It's going to be very, very seamless. I'm going to take care of everything for her. Is she local?
She is.
Okay. As soon as I find out that you do pass, I'm going to be handling everything for her. Okay? I'm going to work directly with Jen and make sure there's nothing she needs. We're going to make it go very, very painless for her. Okay? And that's why I do what I do.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions so far?
Does because I thank you for explaining it, but does Jen have to because when her dad passed, we just had to have money right away? Like, how long does it take?
Typically, with the state regulated programs that we deal with, you're going to have a benefit check in about 3 to 5 business days. Okay? It's tax-free and it bypasses the program. Okay? She's going to have immediate funds to start taking care of things when you do pass away.
Okay, good. That's important to me.
So what I'm going to do next, first of all, let me ask you a couple more questions. Do you have any current life insurance in place right now?
No.
Okay, good. Do you have anything that's going to act like life insurance when you pass away?
I don't know what that means.
That would mean stocks, bonds, mutual funds, 401ks, IRAs, significant money in the bank or CD.
I do. I have an old IRA, but I mean, with how the market's doing, it's not even going to be there when I die.
Good. Do you know ballpark what's in that IRA?
About 150,000.
150. Okay, and that's in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. So it can
To
go
be
down.
honest, I don't even really know. It
You
moves
lose money.
around.
You
Yeah.
lose money. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back tomorrow at this same time, and we're going to talk about some safe retirement solutions for you. Like I told you earlier, we can put you in a better position to where you'll never lose money with the market, but you'll gain with it. So I'm going to be back tomorrow at the same time, and we're going to go over how that works for you. We're here to talk about life insurance, so we're going to make sure that Jen has something put in place so when you do pass, everything's taken care of.
Sounds great.
I'm going to jump on my computer now, and jump on the America website. And what I'm going to do, Mary, this is what I do with all my clients. Based on your health, I'm pretty confident you're going to get qualified. Okay, you did have a heart attack, so we need to submit the completed application today just to make sure that you do get qualified. Does that sound fair?
Okay.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start at the top. I believe that you're going to qualify for around $30,000 in benefit with America. Okay?
Do I need $30,000?
You may not necessarily need it, okay, but we're going to start at the top, and then you and I are going to work as a team to find something that fits the budget.
Okay.
When it
Sounds
comes to
great.
life insurance, here's what I tell all my clients: it's the want versus the need. Okay, we all want to leave Jen or our family, $1 million worth of life insurance, but we all need to have something put in place that's going to eliminate the burden and do the adult thing and take care of our business before we pass. Okay, so we're going to work together as a team to find something that fits the budget. Today, that's what we'll put in force, and like I said earlier, in 24 to 48 hours, that first premium is going to hit your checking account you provide.
Okay.
Sound good? Good.
Okay.
So just got the quotes back from Americo. I started at a $30,000 benefit. I went ahead and I wrote down 2 other amounts for you. What I need you to do, Mary, is tell me which one of these we're going to put in force today.
So these are is this monthly?
That is monthly.
Well, I mean, ideally, I would want to leave this one.
That's the middle with 25,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to tell you, Mary, is again the want versus the need. If you can't afford $117 a month, and it's going to be a struggle, knock it down to $94,000. I can even show you what 15 grand will look like if that makes it more comfortable for you.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if I can afford any of it.
Honestly, Mary, here's what I'm going to tell you. Sorry, we have an inside joke. Mary, you can't afford to not have it put in place. Okay? You need to protect Jen. You've already shared with me in the beginning when I first sat down with you that it was a 9 out of your own words. It was a 9 out of 10. Importance that your daughter is not burdened. Okay? Through talking to you, I've changed your scale, and I believe it's a 10 out of 10. Okay? So you can't afford to not have this put in place. Jen can't afford to not have this put in place today. So what we have to do now is figure out which one fits the budget the most comfortable.
Okay. I can probably do the $117 a month.
Okay, great. Can you do me a favor, grab your checkbook and your driver's license, and we'll get the application submitted today.
Okay. There it is. that structure. We were talking last night. Why Dan laughed at the objection scenario was because I said, I'm going to give you some objections, and he goes, I don't get objections. And I'm like, oh, you're that good.
No, and here's the thing. It's a joke, it's funny, but honestly, and this is what I tell all the agents that we hire, okay, all the agents that we're coaching and mentoring. If your presentation is a race to 100, by the way, you've all heard that probably, okay? Once you get to 100 appointments, you are dialed in. My presentation, the base of it, is so close to what Tiffany taught me, but I added my own spice, okay? I added my own flavor, okay? You get to 100 appointments, you're dialed in. But I truly, truly believe, and it's not me being arrogant, it's me being confident. I don't get objections, okay? When I train on my final expense in-home, I always get the same comments and questions. Can you please do a presentation with an objection? Here's what I tell them. If your presentation, if you've done your homework and you've prepared, what's Matt say? Proper preparation prevents poor performance? God, I thought I was going to screw that up. If you prepare and your in-home is dialed in, you're not going to have objections. Okay, you know how much money they have left over, so they can afford it. You know how important it is to them. The scale of 1 to 10. That's a very effective tool that Matt Smith passed on to me. You have them sell it to you from the beginning. Why did you fill the form out? That way I know how best I can serve you. Okay, how important is that to you that we get this done today? Okay? And how much money do you have left over? I didn't get to that part in the presentation. Normally I ask everyone how much money do you have coming in, and most importantly, what is left over at the end of the month. Okay, so when they tell me they have $600 left over at the end of the month, and I quote them $100 and they tell me they can't afford it, with all due respect, Mary, you can't afford it. Okay, it fits your budget.
And at that point, that's when you say, and Dan hit on this in the presentation, when they say they can't afford it, and you are confident enough to say, with all due respect, you can afford it. It is your family that can't afford you not to have it. That's the point. When you're selling,
Make me dance up here. No, I can't dance.
When you're sitting with a client, and we talked about this yesterday, that trust that they're giving you, that they have placed in you to push them, to guide them, to recognizing that very point. Simplified Life Insurance is the reason that we come into these auditoriums and we learn how to do this. Because somebody's going to walk into their house, another insurance agent is going to walk into their house, they're going to tell them that they need to step on a scale, pee in a cup, and have blood drawn. That is not your job. Your job is to leave them with a policy number and a death benefit that their family can rely on. Doing the process, doing what Dan did, building that emotion, that emotion, when Dan thinks about it, I can tell you why he gets emotional. And this is what you have to think when you're with clients. He gets emotional because sitting at that table, he was thinking about our daughters. Liv, Katie, Delilah. He was thinking about our kids and what their lives would be like without a benefit. You have to put yourself in that position and understand those clients are trusting you. They need that guidance and that structure and to be told what to do. You need to ask those deeper questions. You need to kill them on screen. Michaela said it yesterday. You need to kill them off. With all due respect, Dan, stop talking, you're dead. Right? I've actually looked at a client once when her husband was going on about how they just didn't need it, she would be fine. She crossed her arms and looked at him and said, well, I sure as heck am not going out there to get wood in the middle of the winter, because they had to put wood in their wood stove. And she's like, I'm not doing that. And I said, look, here's the thing. You don't have to say yes to me. I want you to look at her and tell her you do not love her enough to do this. That's what it's about. You do not love your family enough.
Love you.
Like, you do not love your family enough to take care of this. The first thing Dan and I did when we got married was sit down with a life insurance agent. That if you don't have that much passion for the people that you sit with, you know, talking about a lead as a person, I know I'm going over, I'm so sorry, but you're all going to eat anyway. If you don't see that lead as a human, If you don't see the beneficiaries as real people, find something else to do. Okay?
Appreciate y'all.